America used to rule the world. Now Asia wants to usurp that throne. I'm not talking economics here. I'm talking theme parks.
The theme parks are only as successful as the brand that they ally themselves with.
Also in this week's programme,
the site that helps you map out a holiday you can afford and find out how David Hasselhoff is helping promote a new brand of airline seats. That's online check-in later in the show.
And we meet the man who says he can help to make you look like a Korean soap star. Hello and welcome to FastTrack. I'm Rajan Datar. And this is the second of our two-part special from Seoul in South Korea, famous for its history, but also all things contemporary. Now, in the ever-fiercer battle to control the lucrative leisure and tourism market, one major prize is to boast the most exciting and cutting-edge theme park. This one in Seoul, for example, claims to be the largest indoor complex in the world. And this country was to grab pole position in an industry that's proved to have had its fair share of ups and downs. It may be a murky Monday morning in Seoul, but it's not spoiling the fun at Lotte World. Coachloads of school kids bust in from the suburbs, fill their booths with snacks, toys, and most of all, scary rides. Pleasures not lost on the oversized kids either.
Scariest ride is probably the gyro drop, and it drops from like a height of a 25-story building.
I like to go for more stationary rides. Then the thrill is like 3D or 4D. You know, once in a while, if I just want to get adrenaline pumping, you go for those exciting rides that the heart will just try to leap out from your mouth.
Lotte World is very aware of its child-friendly niche. There's an ice rink, junior attractions, and a tribute to K-pop, Korea's homegrown music scene. Many of the staff here came regularly in their youth, almost as a rite of passage.
We introduce new attractions every year, like a kids zone for our family guests. I think South Koreans like the fact that you can escape daily life and experience unusual things. We also have shows like parades and musicals, which are very entertaining.
Across the other side of the city, Seoul's other big theme park success story, Everland, has the expertise of high-tech giant Samsung behind it, and it shows. Both Everland and Lotte World recorded double-digit growth last year, and both feature in the top 10 of the world's fastest-growing theme parks.
I think you're starting to see a lot more innovation put into the ideas. That combined with the technology, I think we've got some incredible technology players in this space across Asia. People like Samsung, for example, that can really add a lot of diversity.
For the best part of the 20th century, the United States dominated the theme park world, tapping into its deep well of popular culture to provide recognizable cuddly characters from film and animation. But tougher times have taken their toll, leading to drastic measures.
An interesting thing happened when the recession started. Americans were still going to the theme parks. They still wanted to have that dream vacation of going to Disney World or Universal or wherever. They didn't change that. What they did change was how much they spent once they got in the gates. And it's important to remember that only about 60% of the income at a theme park comes from the ticket price. The rest of it comes from all those other things like souvenirs and food and parking. And so the big game right now in the United States is to try to figure out how to get people to spend more once they get in the gates.
In Europe, attendance figures have suffered in spite of theme parks boasting some of the scariest rides on the planet, like this one at Thorpe Park in the UK. Even previously booming parts of the world, like the Gulf region, with some of the fastest rides, are experiencing a slowdown. and some big projects have been suspended, for instance in Dubai, which means the Far East is now leading the way. Of course, South Korea is not the only major player in theme parks in Asia. Across the continent, there's a whole rush of construction going on, and some of the cleverest brains in the business are being hired to find the next big thing. Visitor numbers to theme parks rose in Asia last year by 7.5%, compared to 1.5% across the world. Attendance in the region is expected to rise to 290 million in 2012 from 249 million in 2007. From Singapore to Shanghai, theme parks are on the crest of a wave, and new features like the Transformer ride that debuts next month in Singapore are keeping the customers coming.
Recently, the Universal Studios here in Singapore, which has had an incredible show element that's right on the waterfront, so it's their 8 o'clock big show. It's got some amazing crane creatures that are created, which is all animatronics, and that combined with all the lights, the music, is a really quite an interesting experience.
So, in the battle to provide the next generation of theme parks, what's going to break new ground? Well, in a land that prides itself on design and technology, state-of-the-art style, the answer seems to be robots.
Introducing Robotland.
Robotland in Incheon in South Korea is part of a huge government-backed project to create a technology-based metropolis with robots, the unifying theme. This is, after all, a country where they want to have one robot like this per classroom acting as a teaching assistant for young kids by the year 2013.
My name is Langbet.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Scheduled to open in 2014, executives predict visitor numbers to Robotland of nearly 3 million a year. The CEO says this is a new concept in theme parks, with the rides being a Trojan horse towards greater understanding and interaction with robot technology. It's edutainment, as he calls it, and Robotland will be a testbed for research and development.
We show the future, robot future, which means the human's future. So not confined to the mechanical things. Well, we have to develop the robot, like a multi-dimensional things like that.
Towering high above robot.
As for lovable Disney characters, well, they're old hat, apparently.
There is a big difference between the Disneyland and Robotland. One of the main reasons is that Disneyland is just all the time stay, which means Mickey Mouse is not growing, but Incheon Robotland theme park is growing.
I am a cute, intelligent, smart service robot fused by Korean high technology. I am a feasible robot to do emotion interaction.
But experts in theme park design say it's going to be a big mental leap between industrial robotic arms throwing people about on a ride and customers interacting with artificial intelligence.
I think what robots are going to add is probably extra twists and turns in those kind of physical sensations, but it's definitely the relationships, this idea of giving your power, giving over control to a machine who in some ways is becoming more and more human-like. I think that sort of darker place, that sort of theatricality of machines is where the next thrills are going to come from.
Robotland promises a robot museum, 4 thematic robot lands, dancing and gladiatorial robots, and a 56-metre-high robot. My advice, don't go there if you don't like robots. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, experts warn not to write off the Americans and the allure of recognisable characters. The new Universal Studios Harry Potter theme park has been a big hit, for example, and experienced brands can trump homegrown Asian concepts.
The theme parks are only as successful as the brand that they ally themselves with. Harry Potter, of course, is a multi-billion-dollar brand that almost every child in the world knows. A great theme is something that is eternal, and it's something that multi-generations will love. That's why Mickey Mouse has always endured, and other characters sort of fallen by the wayside in the past.
As we have this rise of technology, people are becoming more familiar with robots, and we're now anthropomorphizing robots. I think we're going to see those kind of characters, the older cartoonish characters being replaced by slightly more technological looking characters.
And we can love robots.
Yeah. Surely. Yeah.
And robots can love us?
That's right, too.
What a smart kid.
So, would the prospect of a new robot land entice you over to Seoul? Or do you prefer your theme parks to have well-known characters from movies and animation? Or do you just like scary, thrilling rides? Let us know. Email us at fasttrack@bbc.com. Don't go away, because coming up after the break, Carmen's here with our online check-in, plus how to look like a Korean soap star. We meet Seoul's king of cosmetic surgery. See you after the break. As we reported in our last show from Seoul, the influence of Hallyu, or Korean pop culture, is winning fans and tourists from right across the continent. But for many people, just admiring their favourite stars is not enough. They want to look like them too. In fact, the Korean look is big business these days, making Seoul, this city, the plastic surgery capital of Asia.
Fantasy, escapism and impossible good looks. The handsome stars of Korean popular culture, or Hallyu, are winning fans across Asia and beyond, and attracting a new kind of tourist, seeking more than the average souvenir. They want to go home resembling the celebrities they've seen on the screen. The Korean look.
The popular culture, it's really in now in the whole of Asia, like be it from drama series or music videos, and a lot of their pop stars, they're really popular now in Taiwan, in Singapore, in a lot of parts of Asia. So because of that, it influences how we consider our idea of beauty.
And this is Seoul's king of cosmetic surgery. Dr. Kim Byung-gun runs the largest nip and tuck hospital in Korea and is almost as famous as some of the soap stars themselves.
We have more than 15 translators. We perform more than 100 cases a day. We have 17 operation theaters and we are operating every hour.
Today he's seeing 23-year-old student Christina, who has made the trip from China.
What kind of face do you want after surgery?
Of the Korean stars, I really like Han Ga-in, and I want to be like her afterwards.
Okay, you want to make your face the same with Kim Tae-hee. Okay, many patients want to make their faces just the same with Kim Tae-hee's face, but you know it's not possible to make the face exactly the same with the movie star's face. If you want to reduce your cheek like her cheek, I can try it.
Korean women are all very beautiful and have very nice skin. We watch lots of Korean soap operas in China. All the stars look very pretty, so I want to be as pretty as them.
Your cheek is bulging too much. So if you want to correct it, I want to recommend you some liposuction on the cheek fat. That's big face. So I want to recommend reduction.
Big face.
God put a smile upon my face.
BK Hospital is in one of the wealthiest parts of Seoul. Dubbed the Mecca of plastic surgery, tourists have their pick of more than 400 such clinics concentrated in the area. Demand is high. The medical tourism industry here is worth $700 million annually, so it's not surprising that authorities are keen to promote what's on offer.
In 2007, the Korean government put a very strong focus on medical tourism. I think it became the 17th growth engine for the country. They've set up specific hospitals. So they're targeting to triple the number of medical tourists that go to Korea in the next 3 years.
Yeah, she has some fat here at the jaw area. This fat can be removed. Let's prepare your surgery. Take it easy. Don't be too much nervous. Okay, yeah. nowadays and sedation.
As hospitals here invest in more and more cutting-edge technology, experts say these processes will become even easier and less invasive. The quick fix will get even quicker.
She sleeps during the procedure. She doesn't feel any pain, but it's not general anesthesia, so she will wake up right away.
2 days later, Christina is back at the hospital. Still a bit swollen, but no regrets.
I feel it's worth it. Before I worried about my fat face, and now I feel my face will look thinner.
Back home in China, Christina has a permanent reminder of her holiday, the Korean look of her favourite star.
It's what's in here that counts, isn't it? Right, let's see what else is making news in the world of travel this week.
The Eurozone crisis might be making you cautious about exchanging your currency. But it's even more of a headache for tour companies. German tour operator TUI has asked hotels in Greece to sign new contracts that will allow them to pay hoteliers in local currency if the country exits the euro. The move has been slammed by the Greek Tourist Board, which says no one will agree to the request. Kenya's tourism minister has said advice from the UK Foreign Office for people travelling to the country is too cautious. The UK is currently warning against travel within 60 kilometres of the Somali border. But the minister says the country is safe.
All this time we've never had a crisis attacking tourists. But this has happened, unfortunately, but we're in control as government and we are taking action against the perpetrators of this attack.
And the President of Iceland has invited tourists to visit the presidential palace in Reykjavik for some pancake flipping. It's part of a campaign where Icelanders ask people to visit their towns and landmarks.
Hi there and welcome to Online Check-In, your regular fast-track guide to what's making news in travel on the web. I'm Carmen Roberts. Booking a holiday can be a hassle, especially if you're on a tight budget. I find most internet searches are led by destination, not by price. So Flocations.com claims to find you the perfect holiday based on what you can afford. Just type in your dates, destination and your maximum budget, and it shows you how far your travel dollar can take you. Flocations only searches 2 months in advance and is great for regional leisure travellers. But right now, flights are only on low-cost carriers like AirAsia, Jetstar and Tiger Airways. For all you cost-conscious travellers in Europe or the US, you might want to check out a similar site called Frugal Flyer. The site shows you travel offers direct from the websites of low-cost carriers and major airlines, as well as the usual suspects like Apodo, Expedia and Travelocity. Frugal Flyer also looks for nearby airports that might provide a better fare. Just don't get caught out having to catch a 2-hour bus ride into town. So clearly, travellers are getting savvy with their searches, and old-timers like e-bookers are picking up their game with new travel planning tools like Weekend Map. This is great for those of you who know when they want to travel but need inspiration on where to go, or those of you who have a particular budget and are looking for the best time to travel. If anything, the map should give you inspiration. If you've had a terrible travel ordeal using any one of these sites, then don't blame me. Instead, you can moan about it on airlikes.com. It's a travellers forum featuring airports and airlines, so whether you've had incredible in-flight service or the journey from hell, chances are you'll hear about it here. If you're thinking of booking with a new airline, I'd check out its Airlikes popularity rating first. Or you might even get some tips on how to kill time during a layover, like these crazy tourists on YouTube riding a bicycle at an airport, possibly in France. I just pity the poor bloke on the bottom. If you've come across anything silly, significant or even sensible on your travels, then drop me a line. The address is fasttrack@bbc.com. Like FastTrack viewer Haryana from Vancouver, Canada, who wrote in to tell us about antiloster.com. It's a free site that helps you find your valuables if you've lost them on your travels. It generates an ID tag that can be stuck on things like your camera, credit card, or even your keys. If you're lucky enough that an honest person picks up your prized possessions, then they just need to log on to the website and key in the ID number, and your details will appear. Call me a cynic, but this relies on the kindness of strangers. I'd prefer it if someone would invent a free GPS tracking sticker for our valuables that we can trace on a smartphone app. Maybe in a few years' time. Here's an app for those of you who are hopeless when it comes to travel health. Fit for Travel is a freebie app that offers tips on avoiding illness, malaria prevention strategies, and a map showing recommended vaccinations. Helpful hints, or just another app for hypochondriacs on holiday? I'll let you decide. Tweet of the week time now, and pop culture travel guide Jaunted recently posted a video of a Finnair flash mob.
Do you remember?
Fortunately, they didn't dance in flight, just at the base in Helsinki. But when it comes to airline videos, I think Air New Zealand is way ahead of the game in terms of creativity and imagination. Remember the Richard Simmons safety workout, or the body-painted cabin crew? Well, now they've got Mason and Jason, the Sheep twins, to promote their new cuddle-class Sky Couch. Enjoy. See you next time.
What do you even dream about, even?
Well, sadly, that's all we've got time for from our second special programme from Seoul in South Korea. But join us next week when...
Fiona finds out why cash-strapped Europe is using public money to send some of its citizens on holiday. And for more travel news, don't forget to take a look at our website, bbc.com/FastTrack. Or log on to bbc.com/travel, where this weekend they're exploring the catacombs of Paris, the underground cemeteries which have become an unlikely tourist attraction.
But until then, from me, Rajan Datta, wherever you're travelling next, have fun, thanks for watching, and goodbye.